Anytime you're starting and building a railroad into the wilderness, you're going to have problems. And the problems were extensive. Earth, wind, and fire. That's what happens in the wilderness. And there's been forest fires, there's been landslides. In the 70s, a flood took out 13 miles of track. There was a movement in the 60s and 70s to scrap the railroad. Southern Pacific wanted to get rid of it. The local community fought that for 20 years, trying to make sure that the railroad didn't get shut down because it was so important to the local economy. What I've really learned, and I think is important for people to understand, the best way to preserve history is to make its presentation so interesting and exciting that people will pay a fair price for a great experience. If you want to save the history, you've got to lock in another generation and get them hooked on riding the railroad. It is very expensive, very risky. This is old equipment. Most of our equipment is around a century old. So the reinvestment is constant. I'm a realist too. Is climate change real? Well, I'm not going to get into that politically, but let's just understand that some people believe it is, and I certainly think there is an impact of climate change, and we're going to adjust and be prepared. And so as a result, we are building an engine to run on oil, and we are having 2 large-scale diesel locomotives built that all 3 of those engines can take a full load of people to Silverton. And that's just being prepared. That's just trying to make sure that we don't have to face some of the issues. These new engines don't eliminate any chance of a fire, and we will still have our full fire protocol available when those engines operate. They do reduce the risk, probably in the 90 to 95% range, so they definitely are an assist. But it's important that we carry on this mission and we ensure that this great American treasure will be here for generations to come. That's what I do, that's what I'm trying to do, and that's what our family is dedicated. Myself, my wife, and our children are all dedicated to the preservation of the Durango and Silverton Railroad.